Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make the guard masks that I did for my Squid Game plush video. So the first thing you'll need is obviously some paper, scissors, tape, and a Sharpie. Now this is way simpler than the player jackets. So basically, honestly, any plush works, whether they have arms or not. As long as your plush just like has a head or something, then it should work. So let's get started. So I have 3 plushies here because obviously different sizes work. Basically it's the same step for each one, but I'll just show you. I'll start with Stitch first, since Stitch is the smallest one out of all of them. I'm gonna cut a smaller kind of square shape. Okay, and then I just cut this edge right here. That you can see it fits pretty well. As you can always cut some edges off if you want it to be a little bit smaller, but yeah, now you have just the basic face where you're gonna obviously draw the shape on. So, and then you're gonna have to create like a headband type of piece so it can actually fit on their head. So you're gonna want to cut like probably like this type of length. You can make it tinier if you want, but I feel like if you make it bigger it's gonna be a lot more strong. Honestly, for a small plush like Stitch, you might not need it to be this long, but I'm just doing this just to be safe so I can take a quick measurement. So wrap it around like this. Okay, and the tape. Like I said, we only need a little bit. Okay, good. I guess you could do it in the back too if you wanna. Alright, so now we got basically the harder part done. And now, as you see, you just hang the mask on like this. And now for a plush like him, since he has a hood, you might want to cut it smaller, but I think it works fine for now. And the fun part is you can put whatever shape you want. So like I can put circle, triangle, or square. To be accurate, I'm just gonna put the square. So as you can see, square. And then looks a little bit too empty down here, so you can just cut that. And then just even it out a little bit right here. Then we take another piece of tape, roll it like a circle, and okay, well, I gotta put it a little bit higher just because his big nose is in the way. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I might have made it a little too small for him because as you can see, he can kind of still see his eyes, but you can just put that on and then, yeah. But this is just what I chose for the mask manager for my video. Now, honestly, I only grabbed these two because Chica's slightly taller, but honestly, both sizes, one size can work for both of these plushies. So since Groot has more of a flatter design, I'm gonna make a mask for him because he's probably easier. So basically it's just the same basic steps. You're gonna want to cut a square out for the mask. Okay, and it looks like that's good. Then basically the same headband kind of thing. Okay, as you can see, it's a little too short, so what I can do is cut another length right here. And that should be good enough for the mask. So basically you just want to tape it. Put the piece of tape right there. And then tape it right here. And that should be good for the headband aspect of it. Yep, as you can see, it wraps fully around him. Now, it might be a little loose, so like I said, you can use this little flap right here to tighten it up but maybe make it a little bit loose so it's easier to take off, because especially since these little like uneven edges up here kind of make it a little difficult to put it on him without having to, you know, take the tape off. So you're gonna put that on and then tighten it a little bit, and then as you can see, this part right here, you just want to tape that, and see, that's basically how you do it now. Since this might cause a little bit of problems, you can kind of just fold that down there so the tape isn't in the way. And yeah, like I said, this is the kind of issue that I kind of went into, so kind of just have to squeeze his head, and that should cause this headband to go on. Okay, now like I said, that's the hard part. The fun part is, you know, just covering his face. So like I said, you can do any shape you want: circle, triangle, square. I'm just gonna do circle just because. Okay, and you can always draw it bigger. See, it doesn't, you know, the size doesn't really matter, but I'm only cutting the edges off just to make it more even. But as you can see, I kind of cut a little too much off because now it's tiny bit smaller, because usually it's supposed to cover his mouth. And if it's a smaller plush, that's fine. But then the easiest thing, you can just cut another square of paper here. And yeah, that should be good. So I can just make a bigger triangle so I don't have to cut off much. Alright, so we got circle right here. And you know, I'm just gonna cut off, since I accidentally cut off a little too much earlier, I'm just gonna cut off a tiny bit right here. And yeah, that's how you do the mask. So like we did for Stitch, you just have to grab a piece of tape, roll it around so it becomes double-sided, and then probably try to tape it on the top, because that's probably where it's gonna fit. And yeah, that's it. And if you want to go this extra step, this isn't required, this is optional, so you can kind of make a small little weapon for them if you want. So you kind of just cut it like this, kind of in the shape of a pistol. And then just cut that. And yeah, you can kind of got a little weapon for them now. Similar with the mask, you can always cut this down to size it to whatever size you'd want it to be. And you can do this if you want. You can add detail to it. But yeah, you can use this to make a miniature weapon for them. And then same thing with the tape. I grabbed a little too much, but that should be fine. Then I just put it on the back of here where the handle is, and then put it on the hand, and that's how you do it. So yeah, and if you're wanting for cheek over here, same thing, just you might need to make it a tiny bit bigger because of her bulging eyes. But yeah, that is basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.